record on this computer. Yan. So recording starts now. So they call it Microsoft Certified Solution Associate because you need to pass at least 3 examinations. So if you pass 740, which is this course, you'll become Microsoft Certified Professional kagad. Okay? So the examination is online, and I can send you how to instruction on how to register for the exam. So the exam will be conducted sa bahay ninyo, but first you have to test, no? At least 2 weeks before booking, test nyo kung suitable. Kasi minsan hindi gumagana eh. No? Like they require at least flash player and PDF, and then i-disable niya yung buong desktop mo. Okay? Then i-scan yung buong kwarto mo. Baka mamaya may Manila paper na nandun yung mga answer. So i-scan mo yan, pare. So sa bahay lang examination, or pwede sa office, basta tahimik lang, okay? So hindi na pwedeng lumabas. Huwag na ilalabas, no? Sabi nga ni Kim Chiu, bawal lumabas. So dito tayo. Take note, ang course natin is not about Active Directory, okay? So wala tayong pag-uusapang Active Directory. It's more on installation of the operating system, no? Nano, web server, core, and the GUI. And then we're gonna focus on storage. So dito, kasi sa trabaho ngayon, pinagsama-sama na yun, no? All-in-one. No? Tawagin na natin Jack of all trade. Hindi ka lang Windows engineer, kundi storage engineer ka pa rin. Sa Australia kasi, separate ang Windows engineer sa storage. Storage, the one provisioning LUN, which is LUN, Logical Unit Number. So ito yung zone, no? Which you can use to share with someone else. Storage. Kumbaga, hard drive na in petabyte, no? If you've seen EMC storage, ito yung gagawin natin. Ito yung ginagawa sa EMC, NetApp Appliance, and Synology, yung mga 10 petabyte disk. Pero hindi naman tayo gagamit ng petabyte, mga gig lang, no? And compute. Okay, pag sinabing compute, ito yung combination of processing power and memory power. So when you say compute, paano yung compute yun? So ganito I'll show you. Dito sa VMware, kasi meron din akong course na VMware, no? So if you're gonna see the computing power nito, so I have a cluster, no? Kinluster ko yan. Yung physical CPU ko, makikita nyo dito, ito yung physical CPU ko. Yan. Intel Xeon, okay? 2.5 GHz lang, no? Pero meron siyang 24 processor. Okay? So, tandaan nyo, 2.5 gigahertz. 2.5 gigahertz. Ha? Pero, no? When we combine the computing power, I was able to achieve 30 gigahertz. Paano nangyari yun? Wala namang CPU na mabibili sa PC Express na 30 gigahertz, diba? Kasi nga, ito yung computing power. So, 24, which is the multiplier, plus the frequency na 2.5. Okay? So equals 30 gigahertz. And well-distributed among compute resources. So yan yung compute resources. Yung another compute resource is the memory. Kasi dito ginagawa yung calculation, no? Temporary buffer. So I have 127 gigabyte. Okay? Shared to all. So leaving me 7 gig na lang natitira. Naubos na yung 128 ko. Ang laki na memory ko, 128. 7 gig na lang. Kasi ginagamit na natin lahat. Okay? So, yan yung computing power natin. So, combination of installation. So, first day, puro installation tayo. Then, day 2, storage tayo. Then, last one, compute. Okay? Kaya 3 days siya. Okay? Then, this is prescribed by Pearson. Pearson is the one conducting test examination around the world. So, ginamit ko na yung kanila. Kasi yung sa Microsoft, na dati namin ginagamit, kulang. Pansin ko may kulang doon, sandali. No? So, yan yung book natin, created by mga MCSE din gumagawa niyan. Okay? So, we have 21 chapters. Napakadami. So, paano possible yan, sir? So, hinati ko. First day, 7. Day 2, 7. Day 3, 7. 21. Okay? So, ang dami nating chapter. So, hoping na matapos tayo hanggang installation of Hyper-V today. Okay? Madali lang yan dahil we're gonna create a very powerful program. No? Gagawa tayo ng program. Okay? So, we're gonna start with installation. Chapter 2, we're gonna install Nano. Okay, nano. Ano ba yung nano? We're gonna discuss later. I'm gonna tell you about image. What are image? And how do you manage VHD? Yung mga disk and volumes. Okay? And then we're gonna create our own storage array network, which is in a VHD format. And we're gonna optimize using data dedupe. Okay, so the data dedupe, let's say you have petabyte of data, how will you optimize the disk? No, manonotice nyo mamaya, meron tayong file na 5 megabyte, biglang naging 1 megabyte na lang. Okay, bumaba. No, hindi compression, but removing the duplicate sectors. Okay. Then lastly, we can install Hyper-V. How are you able to access the server? No? Paano yun na-access yun? Okay? Then kung may time pa, we're gonna work with virtual machine and Hyper-V storage naman, ito yung iSCSI, plus Hyper-V networking. Tandaan nyo, meron tayong compute, may storage, and networking. Pinaghiwalay natin yan. So you can focus more and be able to understand the lesson. No? So ang daming chapters. Okay? And then, tsaka ako na-discuss to kasi Saturday pa naman yan. Then, probably by Saturday, we can move to advanced such as failover clustering. No? Especially if you have disaster recovery. Mas maganda, highly available server. No? And then, we're gonna do network load balancing, especially sa mga airline. Okay, let's say nagbubook kayo ng Cebu Pacific. Piso sale, di ba? Papuntang Gensan, 999. Agawan yan, agawan yan. Naghahabulan yan sa sa server. Babalance natin across all loads. Then we're gonna maintain, we will monitor, and do a backup. Okay? So yun ang ating topic, napakadaming topic natin. Okay? So this is about 467 pages, napakadami. So start na tayo. So open up your book. Punta na ako dito sa installation. So before we install, the format of the lesson is, we're gonna talk about fundamentals, foundation, okay, basic. Talagang, even if you have no idea about server, mag-i-start ako sa basic. Okay? So installation of OS, operating system, yan. If you notice dito, may mga question na hindi natin alam. Kasi nga, test lang to testing to. So tanong dito, what's new in 2016? Okay? Sasagutan natin yan mamaya. After natin mag-study. Well-known trusted tech for supporting containers. Docker, no? Sasagutan natin yan mamaya. Okay? So for now, hindi ko muna tatanong sa inyo kasi wala pa tayong lesson. Ito na. This is the foundation. So, kagandahan dito, yung nag-design ng book na to, you're gonna start from the very, very low level. Okay? Yung basic talaga. Okay, so anong bago sa 2016? First is Nano server. Yan, lagay ko dito. Nano server. Nano offers another exciting installation option for 2016. If you notice, ang Linux, small footprint, meaning walang graphical user interface. No? Usually, you only connect using SSH. Okay? Less services, which means less memory and compute utilization, which is good. Kung ang purpose mo lang sa server is to host a web server, let's say WordPress, ba't lalagay mo ng Active Directory? Di ba? Doesn't make sense. So dito sa Nano, small footprint. It's only 512 megabytes and can run on 512 RAM. Napakababang RAM. Di mo kailangan ng 8 gig RAM. Kasi if you would like to host, let's say web server lang, index HTML, but kailangan mo ng very powerful, sayang resources. So before they created Nano, meron pang core. Okay, which is graphical, no, walang graphical user. You only connect via console. Okay? Sa Nano, we can connect via console then plus SSH. Okay? Pero very powerful lang Nano. It's like Amazon machine image. Okay? Yung sa Linux. So sa Nano, you can have Hyper-V. No? And then you can cluster pa yung Hyper-V. Then meron din siyang scale-out file server. So pwede mong gawing file server to. And then pwede mo host sa AWS. Okay? So once you familiar sa Windows, you can spin up a Nano server. No? In fact, this will be our hands-on. Gagawin nyo to ngayon. Okay? Malinaw ba yung Nano? So ano yung Nano? The hardware requirements are very, very small. Okay? In short, matipid siya. Matipid. Next is the container. So when you say container and Hyper-V container, No, totally different to. Okay? Containers are kind of new, no? They allow application to run with everything it needs in one small container. So what do you mean by container? Okay? So isa-isa natin container. Ito yung container. Okay? So meron tayong tinatawag na virtualization. Okay? So virtualization, nandun yung Hyper-V, nandun yung VMware, the Citrix Sense Server. Napakadami. Okay, nandun din yung Red Hat KVM. Napakadami. So, which means it virtualizes the hardware to deliver very efficient resources such as compute network and storage, no? Container is totally different. Okay, so meron dyan Docker. Docker. Ito yung ginagamit ng Windows. Sa Hyper-V, kailangan mo ng virtual machine. Diba? May Hyper-V ka, maglalagay yan virtual machine doon. So when you say virtual machine, dedicated to. So that means kakain yun ng 4 gig RAM, then 4 CPU. Okay? Same with VMware. Sa VMware naman, when you virtualize machine, bibigyan mo ng 4 gig RAM, 4 CPU. Same with Citrix. Okay? Same with Red Hat, Linux. Okay? Pag gumagawa ka ng VM. No? So when I say VM, ito yan, no? So ito yung machine mo, JMAR. And then meron tayong Hyper-V. Ito ba yung isa talaga? Kanina ba ito? Yeah, may Hyper-V. Okay? Inside the Hyper-V, merong 4 servers. Okay? Naka-off pa, no? So, i-on ko yung isa. So, within the Hyper-V, merong mga servers which is called virtual machine. So, that means when you install virtual machine, the operating system, you have to pay license. Malinaw. Babayaran mo yun, license. Magkano isang license? Sabihin natin $500 isang Windows, no? Babayaran mo yan. So you can connect. And then installan mo lang ng IIS, may web server ka na, no? Pero you're still paying for a license, di ba? Tama? Sa container, it's totally different. Balikan natin. Ito. So meron ditong license. One OS license. Sabihin natin $512. Okay? Babayaran mo yan eh. Kasi may VM eh. No? Okay? Yan ang virtualization. Babayaran mo yan. So if you have 4, let's say, virtual machine, magkano yan? $2,000. Sa containerization, wala. Kasi you only need one VM, no? Isang VM lang equals one license. Then gagawa ka ng, let's say, container 1. Andun yung web server. Okay? Container 2. Andun naman yung SQL server mo. Container 3. Andun naman yung Active Directory server mo. One license lang. Pero 3 functions. You don't need 3 virtual machine. Hindi mo na kailangan. Okay? So, saan ka nakatipid? Sa containerization or sa virtualization? JMAR, tingin mo. Saan ka makakatipid? Mas makakatipid ka sa containerization. It's more efficient. Isang VM, nilagyan ko ng Docker, pero meron 3 servers sa loob. Okay? So, mas makakatipid ka sa Docker. Containerization. Okay? So, yan ang difference ng Windows servers, Hyper-V containers. No? So, this is Docker. Docker is a well-known and trusted technology for managing containers. So, meaning it's just a program, no, which separates application from different application. Separates servers from different servers. Okay, malinaw ba yung Docker natin? Another news sa 2016 is meron siyang storage cluster. Okay? So, let's take back a history. Sa history natin, meron tayong, let's say, server 1. Then suddenly, nag-fail. Failover sa server 2. What about storage? Paano kung mag-fail yung storage? So sa new, sa 2016, meron siyang storage. No, in the format of VHD. Once unavailable, failover lang yan to another storage. Okay? So yan ang bago. Storage clustering. And we're gonna create a storage cluster. Okay? To experience talaga. Kayo gagawa niyan. Kaya you need to perform from the very foundation. Kasi if once you miss the foundation, mahirapan na kayo sa storage clustering natin on day 3. No, medyo mahirap talaga yan. Another new is hot add. Okay? Hot remove virtual memory. So pwede ka dito mag-hot add. So ito yung Hyper-V natin. Naka-on yung server, no? Edit ko yung settings. Remember yung RAM naka-grayed out? Hindi. Naka-grayed out. Pero tingnan mo to, hindi to grayed out. So meaning, from 512, I can type 1 gig. Pwede kong palitan. Okay? No? Pwede kong palitan siya. Plus yung CPU, kita nyo, hindi na mapalitan yan. Okay? Kasi you need to enable from the hypervisor level. So, you need to enable pa. So dito hindi mapalitan. No? So you cannot add CPU. Okay? Pero sa 2016, you should be able to add CPU and memory on the fly. Okay? Another thing, nested virtualization. When you say nested, you can run Hyper-V within a VM. Sa VM lang. Ganito yan. So how is it possible? 2012, it's very impossible. 2016 ang answer. Ganito yan eh. So let's say meron kang physical server na Cisco UCS. Nakakita na ba kayo na? So physical yan. No? Then you install Hyper-V. Since merong Hyper-V, pwede kang gumawa ng virtual machines dito. Okay? Pwede kang gumawa ng virtual machines. Okay? So saan nilalagay ang Hyper-V? Physical. Okay? Ngayon, question dyan, within that virtual machine, pwede pa ba ako mag-install ng Hyper-V? Sa 2012, hindi. 2016, yes, you can. No? 2016, pwede na. Pwede na. No? Okay, so within that Hyper, di ba, may VM. Sa VM niya, nilagyan ko ng Hyper-V. Sa VM, sa Hyper-V niyan, pwede pa magkaroon ng VM. So, yun nesting. Okay? It's a virtual machine inside the virtual machine. Malinaw. Okay, so ano yung nested? It's a virtual machine inside the virtual machine. Okay? Possible lang sa 2016. Malinaw. Any questions so far? So what's new? PowerShell Direct. You can run PowerShell commands against guest operating system without logging in. Okay? PowerShell Direct. So I'll demonstrate to you. So I have a server dito. So server 1 is up. Server 2 is down. So ganito mag-start. Start nyo lang yan. Okay? And then I'm inside the Hyper-V. So this is VM. So nested. So I'm gonna log on sa ISE. So ganito mag-run ng ISE. Type nyo lang dito ISE. Meaning Integrated Shell Environment, PowerShell. So bakit Integrated Shell Environment? Kasi kompleto siya sa console, command line, and script. No? So yan ang ISE. Make sure you run as admin. Tapos you can hold control, then scroll up mouse para lumaki. So everyone can see. Okay? CD para pumunta sa root. CLS, clear screen. Okay? So ping natin server 1. Reachable ang server 1 from the Hyper-V. Hindi yung nasa loob. Nasa labas ako. Ayun yung nested VM server niyan, which is gagawa ko in server 5. Nasa labas ako. Okay? Pingable siya. How do you connect? The command is enter PS session and the server name, server 1. Teka, enter PS. Pingable ba siya? Enter. PowerShell session. Tama naman ah. Server 1. Ay, okay. Hindi pa pala. Hindi pwede. So, ito yung sinasabi niyang a VM can communicate within the same VM. So, meron ako server 1. Nauna yung server 1, di ba? Kukonek ako. Ito lang, how to connect yan. Click nyo lang. Double click mo lang siya. So, this is the VM. Okay? Inside the Hyper-V. Right now, everyone's connected sa Hyper-V. Server 1, and then we have server, as you can see, server 1 nakalagay, no? So if I were you, I'm gonna drag down tong RDP session dito sa taas para hindi tayo mahirapan mamaya. Okay? Connect server 2. Double left click mouse lang. Nilagay ko na yung credentials so you don't have to type para mabilis ang ating lab. No? Ito na yung server 2. Okay? As you can see, server 1 and obviously server 1. And then dito server 2. So give it a time. Okay, so connected na. So open up. So lalabas dito CMD. Antayin natin. So may command prompt dito. We're gonna be using command prompt kasi more on PowerShell tayo. Kita niyo yan, command prompt. Right click. Command prompt. Tandaan nyo, you need to open as admin. Okay? Run as admin. Kita niya? Run as admin. So this is how you connect. Then type PowerShell. Because the command we're gonna execute is PowerShell. Now, medyo maliit yan, no? So we cannot resize. Then wait for a while kasi nagbo-boot up pa yung ibang server natin. So I'm gonna demonstrate how you execute PowerShell direct, no? So tandaan nyo, nandito ako sa server 1. So how did I know? Tinype ko host name. Kita nyo, server 2. Okay? So I'm gonna connect server 1 without RDPing. Enter PowerShell session. Then type the server, server 1. Okay, he's trying to establish. Ayun, establish na yung connectivity. Nakita nyo, server 1. No? Now, if I type host name, lalabas, server 1. So, meaning, connected na ako sa kaliwang server, server 1. Okay? So, no need for SSH kasi authenticated ka na eh. No need to do redundant stuff, no? So, that's how you connect remotely. Okay? So, any question? Any question? So, yun yung new, no? PowerShell Direct. Next is the shielded VM. So when you say shielded, this new VM feature helps protect the data on VM from unauthorized access. So this is another microsegmentation of Microsoft. It's not possible to connect without the proper authentication and authorization. No? Plus meron pa siyang encryption sa loob ng VM. Then as you all know, Windows Defender. This helps protect your server against malware. So lahat ng Windows ngayon meron ng Defender, no? So it's some sort of malware protection. Another new is Storage Space Direct. These features enable you to build highly available storage. Okay? So gagawa tayo ng clustered of storage and then be-break natin. Bubunutin natin isang hard drive. Papakita ko sa inyo. Hugutin niyo, no? By command, no? Remove hard drive lang yun. So tatanggalin niyo yan, eject niyo yan to simulate a real-world scenario, pero highly resilient. Okay? Then storage replica, kung meron tayong master and meron ding a master replica. So this feature allows synchronously, meaning serial, sunod-sunod, no? to replicate volume sa block level. So let's say may data kang 1 terabyte. Sabi la 1 terabyte din makakopy niya. No? Storage replica. Exact copy. And then to be authenticated, hindi lang username and password, you can be able to replace yung authentication ng username password using biometric key, no? Or yung index finger ninyo, no? Pag nag-login sa laptop, pwede rin yun, no? Tawag doon passport. And Windows Server Essential Experience, this role offers easy access to cloud. So meron na tong future proof. So that means all operating system, AWS, Azure, they're using Microsoft din. Kahit tanggalin nila yung Microsoft examination, ang operating system pa rin sa cloud, Windows pa rin, Linux pa rin. So you need to understand Windows talaga, di ba? Kung Windows engineer kayo. Okay? So hindi mawawala ito, imposible. Kasi ano operating system ilalagay kung walang Windows, di ba? Next is installation requirements. Napakababa. 1.4, gumagana na siya. 64-bit. Wala namang 32-bit na eh. Tinanggal na eh. No? And then, no execute. Supports no execute and depth. Ito yung lumang technology. So, kung meron kayong generation na yung Core to Duo generation, lumang-luma, no? Gen 2 na tinatawag nila. Pwede pa rin yan. Supports prefetch hardware, no? So, kung may mga conventional server, pwede yan. Pero, to fully utilize yung nesting, yung nested virtualization, you meaning installing a Hyper-V within the virtual machine, you need slot. Okay? Slot. Hindi yung babaeng malandi, slot. SLAT. Second level address translation for nesting virtualization. Pag wala yan, hindi gagana to. Hindi gagana yan. No? Tinaray ko sa Core 2 Duo, hindi gumana. Okay? So yung Core 2 Duo na Gen 2. Okay? RAM, 512 lang. Di mo na kailangan marami. And sa server, ECC lagi. Pero yung mga SD-RAM, kahit, tatakbo din yan. Tatakbo din yan. Okay. And so many more. Okay? Ito yung mga standard ek. Standard. So let's compare between the 3 edition. Ito yung lalabas sa examination. So what's the difference between data center and standard edition? Okay? Ito lang tandaan nyo sa exam. Sa standard, maximum of 2. Okay, maximum of 2 Hyper-V containers supported and a maximum of 2 virtual machines supported. Samantalang sa data center, unlimited. Unlimited VM, unlimited container. Okay? So kung bibili kayo, data center na. Kasi you can put as many as 64 virtual machine. Okay? Sa standard, libre dito, 2 lang na virtual machine. Okay? And data center, ideally for software-defined data center. Yung meaning, you would like to implement virtualization talaga. Na wala lang, may physical pero Hyper-V or VMware lang. Essential, maximum of 25 users lang. Okay? Kung meron kayong empleyado na 30, hindi kaya. Hindi kaya. And then you have to license yung per CPU. So ito, isang CPU lang to. Paano kung 2 CPU mo? Wala, goodbye. You cannot purchase another CAL. Okay? Maximum of 25 lang talaga. So, paano kung 30 employee nyo? Hindi ka na pwede, no? Tatapon mo na yung essential. Bili ka na ng data center. Okay? So, ganun siya tumatakbo. This is the conventional way to install 2016 na napakabagal. Hindi ko na ito nire-recommend, eh, no? So, papasok nyo yung ISO. Okay? Okay, magbo-boot doon. Tapos click install now. Nandito na yung procedure kung gusto nyo gawin sa hands-on lab natin. Pero hindi ko na-demo kasi matagal na yan. Hindi na namin ginagamit ito eh. Sa trabaho kasi as much as possible, meron kang program, PowerShell script. No? So ito yung luma. Pipili ka ng edition, no? Kung core or may desktop experience. So this means GUI, Graphical User Interface. No? And then accept the license, blah, 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 blah. Then you have to select between the two. What's the difference between the two? First install, custom. Kung meron ng operating system, gusto nyo i-overwrite, upgrade tawag doon. Okay? Hindi maganda mag-upgrade. Kasi dodoble yung footprint. Meaning, yung old Windows will have a name of Windows.old. No? Will utilize 20 gig. Yung bago naman, 20 gig na naman. 40 gig ang disk space. Sayang. No, maganda format mo na lang, custom install. Okay? And normally you install sa drive 0. That will reboot 3 times or more. Yun. So meron ka ng OS. Yan. Drive 0 ha. Sino ba itong baby? Drive 0. Pag lumabas, drive 1. Naku, patay na. Okay? Next is PowerShell and desired state config. So ito yung gagawin natin. We're gonna deploy operating system via PowerShell. Okay? Puro tayo PowerShell. So we have 4-step. We're gonna do clean install. No? Kung may mga data kayo, ma-migrate nyo, then na-update nyo yung OS. And then you have to convert yung, let's say, kung meron kayong 2012, convert nyo yun into 2016 edition. No? Kung may license na kayo, pwede yun. So you don't have to purchase the new one. So upgrade option. Ito yung mga, so see, sirs, ano yung pwedeng i-upgrade? Kung mayroon kayo license na 2012, okay? Pwede may upgrade sa 2016. So, punta lang kayo ng TechNet, no? MicrosoftTechNet.com. Click nyo upgrade from 2012 to 2016. Mas makakamura kayo. Instead of $500, mga $215 lang siguro. Okay? Kung meron na kayong 2012 data center, gusto nyo mag-upgrade 2016, pwede yan. Okay? Okay? Almost lahat pwede. Oh? Okay? So, kung ano lang yung nakalista, yun lang pwede. No? So, how do you upgrade? So, meron kayong license na bago, which is purchased sa Microsoft TechNet. The command will be, punta lang kayo sa server, DISM. Okay? Edition. Let's say, edition ID. Plus yung newly purchased product key na binigay sa inyo. 20, no? So, ganyan lang, upgrade. Meron na kayo 2016. Okay? Yun na yung licensing niya. Okay? Licensing niya na yan. Now, question, ano yung pwede i-migrate na may downtime? Certificate services, yung mga nagsisend ng security certs, no downtime. Active Directory, may downtime yan, guaranteed, no? Shutdown. So, madaling araw namin ginagawa yan, eh. We just hassle, no? Kaya mga IT, medyo puyat yan, eh. Okay? DHCP, yes, of course. Papatay mo yung network, eh. Di ba? DNS, hindi mo na kailangan. Now, which license activation model na gusto mo? If you're gonna use KMS, Key Management System, enable to sa Active Directory. Let's say, sa properties ng Windows Server 1, no? Doon mo i-activate siya. Mas madali, no? Mas madali. Ang AVMA naman, mano-mano. Pupuntahan mo yung server, isa-isa. Okay? Isa-isahin mo yan. Tatype mo yung mga DISM license number. Okay? Ngayon, kung gusto mo mas simple, you have to select group volume license, generic volume license key. So meaning, let's say, ang purchase nito for 50 servers, 100 server, 200 servers. Isang license, but you can be able to track using Active Directory. Makikita nyo, oy, max out na yung license natin. Okay, so yan ang installation natin. Ito na yung demo ko. So ganito yung gagawin natin, de-demo ko sa inyo. So ito, ginagamit ko yung PC ni Jmar sa... Kinig kayo, so host name. Ay, hindi. 3364. Kanino to? Isang estudyante na hindi pumasok. Okay. So, we're gonna be using PowerShell. If you notice, meron tayong dito 4 servers. We're gonna install server 5. Okay? Server 5. Ha? Then, rarun natin. Okay? So, demo. Ito na yung demo. Then, ito na yung lab natin. So, close ko muna yung server 1 and 2. Open up PowerShell. Tanggalin niyo yung red na basura na yun. Okay. CD, VM. Pansinin nyo, meron tayong server 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? Pero yung 5, walang laman. Blanco yan. Okay, pumunta ako na CD. Walang laman. Okay? Balik tayo, CD dot. Punta tayo server 4. May laman. Okay? VHD. So yan ang ating drive. Okay. And the size is only like 28 gig yata. Okay, so gagawa tayo first ng VHD. Then, pakita ko din. So we have a parent na tinatawag. So ito yung base. Parent natin yan. Ha? So when you say base, ito yung operating system na master. Okay? May gagawa tayo ng child. So yung child na yun, hugutin sa parent operating system. Ito yung fastest way to deploy. Okay, so gagawa na ako. So wala tayong server 5. I will create our very first server. No, very first server natin. Ito na. Bibigay ko yung command sa inyo. No? So ito na. So gagawa tayo ng very first server. Nagre-record ba to? Recording. Yes, recording. So stop